Well, she pulled a Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? But I get you. I get it to say, okay, I'm a
I
return.
don't like Tom Brady. All right,
Hey,
everybody. So, as you guys know, in the world of I don't know. Let me reverse that because there's a lot of people who don't know. You know, what I mean, a lot of y'all might be new to the space, and if you're new to the space, welcome to the space. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. My name is Rashad This is the Road 5K host. But in the line of college basketball on the women's side, there are just a few juggernauts out there. You know, when you think of names throughout the years, when you think of the UConns, when you think of the Tennessees, when you think of the Baylors, when you think of whatever team Milwaukee's on, whether it's La Tech or Baylor or now LSU, when you think of Mississippi State, when you think of Notre Dame, you think of those kind of staples in the culture. They left their mark, they stuck their stakes in a bunch of plates, and we have one of those staples right here, a product of one of those staples. From the SEC, it just means more. We got Brittany Young in the building.
Hey,
Brittany! Brittany, how you feeling today? How you feeling today?
hey, I feel good today.
Oh no, no, I heard it. I heard it. We got a product of Mississippi State, the Bulldogs in the
Hey, okay, Hell State.
Hell State.
I appreciate
Uh
that intro.
Shout out to Starkville. No problem, Britt. So we got Southern royalty in the building. So I'm gonna start off in this. Last night, I was at the Atlanta Dream game against the Aces, and the atmosphere was crazy. The Dream been around since 2008. I'm old enough to remember 2008, Brittany. See, I'm old enough to remember 2008, and then
Yo,
2008 all the way up to now to 2024. I ain't never seen an atmosphere like that in Atlanta Dream game. Phillips Arena, State Farm Arena, Georgia Tech, the Wobble. I've never seen an Atlanta Dream game like that. Standing room only. It looked like the club in there. The Dream sold too many tickets, and then they said, "Sorry, your tickets are being revoked. Oh, my bad. You guys are mad about that. We're gonna let y'all come and just stand the whole game, and then we're gonna get y'all tickets to another game, and we gonna make it right. I promise. I promise." So all of that happened. The DJs in there, I thought it had everything except for hookah. It's a club except hookah. And it was just, oh my goodness, it was crazy. The atmosphere felt like a playoff, a championship atmosphere, amazing atmosphere. Great job by the fans in Atlanta. Great job by Asia Wilson's fans who always travel well from South Carolina down to Atlanta when she's in town. And great job to the Dream fans. It was a great atmosphere. Dream pulled out the win, and Vegas are still figuring it out without Chelsea Gray. They brought Tiffany Hayes out of retirement. I thought that was fishy because why did you sign her the day that you guys are in Atlanta? And why y'all cut Deasia Fair a couple days before? You know, other people I've talked to, they said they had the conspiracy of this was their plan all along, and they wanted to, you know what I'm saying, just kind of get people excited for the Asia Fair and everything like that. And oh yeah, it's a good feel good story. She made the team just to cut her a week and a half into the season.
yeah.
Uh for Tiffany Hayes. That's a whole nother thing. So I'll let you go with that first, Britt. Just what did you think of that entire kind of exchange of the rookie for the vet with the Aces?
Yeah, I hate Deasia had to go. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like she was a really good pickup for them. Coming into the season, Chelsea was already out, so I felt like that's why they drafted Deasia. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, if you knew you were going to cut her 2 weeks in, why did she make the final roster? You knew you wanted to develop her, give her time. You know, it's not going to happen overnight. So what's the difference in 2 weeks? Um, and I really hate it because again, you look at Becky Hammond, she was a small PG playing in the league at 5'6". Deasia is 5'5". I know a lot of people have brought up her size, but again, she was her size in college, and she still became the third all-time leading scorer in women's D1 history. She was 5'5" when you drafted her. So again, what's the difference now? But I know they like big guards because Chelsea Gray is a big guard. So you pick up Tiffany, you get a big guard who can score and defend. So it's not I get it, it's a good business decision. It's not a bad move because I was wondering why Tiffany retired in the first place because she only did 1 year with the Connecticut Sun and she was a starter. She averaged like 12 points. So she was really good with them. but I read an article where she was saying she needed a break. So she had planned to still play overseas, but during the WNBA season, just spend time focusing on family and business opportunities. But of course, you get a call from Becky Hammond and the back-to-back champs. Of course, I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying, a chance to get a ring, which she wasn't able to do with the Sun, even though they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Because I was wondering why she just didn't run it back with them. But again, she got that call from Becky. I'm not mad at it. Again, I hate that for Deasia. That's a tough situation. I hope she gets picked up by somebody because she a baller. She can play regardless of her size. So it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, no, facts. And I've heard it pronounced Daisha too. I like realized that after I said it, and I was like, so I'm
It's not. It's
100.
Deasia. It's Deasia.
Okay, Deasia. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when in doubt, trust Black. With that in the entire series and stuff like that, it's kind of like the of you might be like in a relationship or something like that, and you might not be satisfied or whatever, and you like, this ain't working out. I just need to work on myself, my mental health, and get my spiritual and physical aligned. And then like someone like the best looking person of your life comes across, and then you're like, hey, and then you're in a relationship the next week, and it's like, what? How did that happen? And you like, God, he was just like, it's time, and y'all need to stop putting that on God. And that's what Tiffany Hayes did right there when she said, I need to focus on my mental health and, get right with my family and spend time and rest my body. And so,
Hmm.
the team that you actually wanted to be on the entire time was right there. And, if the shoe fits, the shoe fits. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I think that's whack personally, but it is what it is. Yeah. So anyways,
What you mean is whack? Like,
it's
and
whack. Like if you knew Brett Favre, if you knew I don't really want to retire, then don't retire. Or like if you want to say you could be EDD, you could be Del Don, right? I'm stepping away. I need a break from the game of basketball. And then if you come up, man, shoot, I thought I was done, but Becky brought me in. We had dinner, and it was just so convincing. I couldn't turn it down. But like, don't give me that. I'm done with the game. I'm done with the league. I'm still gonna play basketball, but I ain't gonna play in the W. And after 2 weeks in the regular season, you back. Don't give me that. It just makes it all look disingenuous to me. And it makes you look indecisive and a maniac to me in my
mm.
eyes. So I don't rock with it. And
Well, I don't know.
I always thought, wait, hold on, I gotta get this off. Since
Okay,
since
get
you
it
set
off.
me up,
Get it
you
off.
because you locked me up, Britt. So
Okay.
Tiff, I always had like an issue with like Tiff's just like Tiff's maturity, bro. Like it's just like she throw fits when she don't make shots on the court. It's just a lot with Tiff that I don't like the way she operate business.
Mm.
When the entire thing we seen Kennedy Carter, which we're gonna get to today. Y'all
Mm.
seen y'all seen why I was caping so hard for Kennedy Carter after all these years. You saw it today on ABC. Um, but when Kennedy was going through her kind of rough patches of finding her way in the league, when her coach that she trusted so much rookie season left right before the season, a week before the season, a couple days before the season, her sophomore season start to go off to Baylor and stuff like, she never recovered from that. She was having a tough time mentally figuring it out. And, instead of like taking her under your wing and being patient with her and continuing to lead her along the way and hand her the keys to the franchise, you subtweeting the girl. You supposed to be the vet. Courtney Williams, you was supposed to be the vet. So I ain't like the way she handled that. I don't like the way she act on the court. I don't like her shot selection sometimes. I ain't like the way she handled this fake retirement. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. So sorry, Tip. I do appreciate her being with the Dream for 80 years and doing what she did and everything like that. I recognize her talent just as one of the better scorers of her time. Coming over from UConn as well. I salute it. I acknowledge it. It's a reason why you're still in the league and why teams still want you. But just you, the way you move, I'm not a fan of it. Go ahead, Britt.
Well, she pulled a Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? But I get you. I get it to say, okay, I'm a
I
return.
don't like Tom Brady.
Okay. Well, if you feel the same way about both situations, then cool. But See, you have more insight into it. I wasn't aware about all of the stuff you just said, but I was just saying, well, I was thinking like, okay, I get it if you want to take a break. Like Della Dunn, she's taking a break from the league and we hope she comes back. She said she retired. You know what I mean? But okay, if Becky called you, you're gonna change your mind real quick. Back-to-back champs. You know, I'm sure it wasn't much convincing. And I don't know the whole situation as far as the $100,000 per player that they're gonna get from the Vegas Tourism Commission. I can't remember the exact name, but they're under investigation, which is crazy to me. You know, the league is saying they want to grow the game, they want to invest in the women, and they get an opportunity. It doesn't affect the salary cap. It's pretty much a sponsorship, just like NIL. So why are you investigating that? That's bogus. So I don't know. I guess Deasia won't get that money since she's no longer on the team, and now Tiffany will get that money, the extra 100,000. I'm not sure how that's gonna work. But I'm sure it wasn't much convincing that Becky had to do. Again, she'll come in, she'll play right away because they need her. Jackie's been playing heavy minutes at the point guard position. So yeah, but I don't know. I think you've been a little too hard on her. You said the fake retirement. It's a lot of players that have said, I'm gonna retire, and then you probably get an opportunity and you just want to come back. Like, let me go and run it back one more time. Even though, you know, she could have done the same thing with the Sun, like came back, played another year. Y'all were right there. Like, let's run it back. I got a great squad, and they currently have the best record in the league. And you went and joined the Aces, kind of like pulled a KD when he left OKC and went to the Warriors, because it's like adding her to the team, they're just that much better. They got better. Like the Warriors were already great without KD, and once you added them, it's like, oh, it's crazy. So we'll see how she meshes with the team and how she's able to have an impact, you know.
Brett, speaking of Connecticut, who you think wins the championship first, the Boston Celtics or the Connecticut Sun?
You know what? Because they both choke.
They
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 both
both
pull up.
they
They
both
both come. He
every
grabbing
year
A-Ball. He's
they get to the
choking.
conference finals. They get to the finals and they lose every single year. Connecticut can start this year 21-0 and I won't move nothing.
Yeah.
I don't trust it. And
I
I
don't.
don't trust the Celtics. The Celtics almost lost to the third string point guard with the Indiana. Come on, man. And you
Yeah.
think they're gonna beat Kyrie and Luca? I don't even rock with Dallas, but I mean that's just like Boston is leaps and bounds a better team than Dallas. But for the fact that Boston just can't close the deal, I'm gonna go with Dallas. Go ahead, Britt.
Now I'm still trying to see if Porzingis is going to come back. Now, if he comes back for this series, then Boston has a good chance to win. But right now, I like Dallas. I like the way they're playing. I like the 1-2 punch with Luca and Kyrie. You have two closers, which we can get into talking about how I feel like the Indiana Fever can have that same style of play, like with Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
And it's just like they're both trying to see who, okay, I'll defer to you. What you gonna do? Like, nah, both of y'all are closers. Both of y'all are scorers. Both of y'all got it. You go get yours. I'm gonna get mine. And everything should be running through them. And that's the same with the Mavs, and that's why they're playing so well. Like PJ Washington, the role players do what they need to do when the time comes, but it's Luca and it's Kyrie, and it has worked. And if they continue to play the way they've been playing, I expect them to win. But the Sun, they look really good. If DB, like, whew, I mean, she's playing like she's trying to move up a few more spots on that all-time scoring list. If she continues to play well, DJ Carrington, I love the way she looks. Even if she's not making plays on the offensive end, like her defense, the energy she brings, like she's the engine for the team. AT, stat stuffer, like they got it. Hopefully this will be the year they can get over the hump. I like them right now better than the Liberty. Like I will say, I can see them beating the Liberty in a 5-game series and getting to the finals. Now, if they'll be able to beat the Aces, that's a different story, but I feel like they can get over the hump and get to the finals this year.
Okay, all right. Well, you know, that's a step. I mean, but they've been to the finals too a couple of years and just getting I felt like if the 1 year against Washington, Deldon had like one leg. It was, they had everything in their pocket to win, and they still didn't. Washington won,
Yeah.
salute to EDD. But I don't know, man. If they don't get it done this year, you have to blow it up. And I think that's the case for not only Connecticut, but I also think that's the case for the Boston Celtics. The Celtics aren't going to do it because they gave Jaylen Brown 180 gazillion dollars, but
Mm.
um, it's time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to get value while you can get value, and then just start again.
Yeah, this has to be their year because they did blow it up. They got rid of Marcus Smart, who was a part of the core for them. They brought in Drew Holiday, who brings leadership, defense, makes sound decisions for them. Again, Porzingis, I know he hasn't been playing, but if he's able to play and you have all of those pieces, again, once a player has been out a while, you wonder how well they mesh with the team. If the team is already clicking without you, like you coming back, sometimes it's just not so easy to work your way back in. But with the moves they made, the money they paid players, like this is the year. But again, when you choke so much, it's like, but they may get over the hump because the Bucks used to choke a lot and they finally won. So this may be their year.
No, no, 100%, 100%. Like, I think one of the years that stand out to me was like mid 2000s, 2010s with the Toronto series, and Drake I think was like kind of trolling Giannis at the line, and Giannis was missing the free throw. I think he airballed like one or two, and it was like a big viral moment, and I was like, man, Milwaukee's never gonna get over the hump, and then they did. So, like you said, like
Yeah.
you just never know with these things. You never know with these things, but. I put all my faith in Boston and Connecticut not getting it done with these current groups. As of right now, maybe they prove me wrong. We
They
got a couple
probably
of weeks.
do.
Maybe Boston proves me wrong,
Maybe
and
they
then
do.
in the fall after the Olympic break, Connecticut proves me wrong, and then you guys can talk about me all you want. I don't care. But yeah,
Yeah.
but as of right now, they can't get the job done. Let's get into the main game of today, shall we? Indiana and Chicago, race for three. Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. And yeah, man, I think the top thing I learned, Aaliyah Boston is still Angel Reese's mommy. You know what I mean? Like Angel can't get nothing going against Aaliyah Boston. She got that fire, that engine, and everything like that. That winning mentality, that will, that hustle. What was it? 8 offensive rebounds today, at least. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So that was like a franchise record. And
Yep.
she's already set the rookie record for offensive rebounds the first couple weeks of the season. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing. But at the end of the day, when it comes to putting the ball in the bucket, Aaliyah did a better job of that than Angel. And she also did a great job on Camila. You can't teach 6'7". Uh I don't know, Chicago, the future looks so bright for them, but yeah. I'm all over the place, but yes, Britt, just initial thoughts on the game.
Yeah, so to piggyback off of what you said, as far as scoring, Reese did struggle to do that, but she's relentless on the offensive board, so she's gonna rebound regardless. But you have somebody in Aaliyah Boston who is just as strong as you, just as tough, has that same type of grit as Angel. But having Cardoso and playing them both together, that helped open up some things for Chicago. So, of course, like you said, you can't teach 6'7", so she was able to score and do some things. I do want to see Cardoso develop a little bit more in the lower post on her post moves, her footwork. If she can get like a hook shot, you know what I mean? Like her game will just really go that much further. But you saw with the Fever where they were clogging up the paint early against Elizabeth Williams. Like they were collapsing on her. She couldn't even get a shot up. When they brought Cardoso in the game, she was able to because of her height. So that helped them. And I like the pairing of Carter and Cardoso. You notice they were brought into the game off the bench together. And then, of course, you keep in Carter at the end of the game because she's a part of your closing five. So that spark that they brought for the Sky was really big off the bench. Kelsey Mitchell, she stepped up big today. She seems to be finding her rhythm. Like, okay, we know we got the number one pick. We know we got Caitlin, what she can do, but I'm going to score two. And again, like I said, that 1-2 punch like Kyrie and Luka, like knowing like I'm going to get mine. Caitlin's going to find a way to get hers, which today she struggled You saw like after she missed like her last six shots, she made her first two threes. She missed like the last six, so she kind of was hesitant. At that point, you got to get to the basket, get a layup. You got to go drive, get a mid-range jump shot, get yourself going, get to the free throw line. Don't just settle for the three if it's not falling, and don't lose your confidence. Find other ways to get involved because they needed her at the end, and she made a clutch layup where, at the end, and that helped, and doing other things because you can't go long stretches and Caitlin doesn't score. And you saw where the Sky were able to go on a run at the end, close it. Like the Fever were up by 9 with like 3 minutes left. Sky went on an 8-0 run, made it close again. So all in all, the Fever, they are getting better. They are getting better at finishing. Again, they could have lost it, but they found a way to close it. It was a smart play by Wheeler at the end of the game. When she went into the backcourt, they inbounded the ball back there because it was pretty much a time thing at that point, running out the clock. And they did that. The Sky couldn't foul, and that pretty much ended the game. So,
A total brain fart there by Chicago at the end of the game. But I mean, it happens. It happens. It's in the labs that's easy. You see it when watching at the crib. Like, why are you? But like, I mean, like in the heat of the moment, like them 4 seconds, especially someone as quick as E Wheeler, like that's a little mosquito, and that's already a couple ticks off. By the time you catch up, Caitlin had the ball and it's about 1 second left. So even if you foul her before she tosses it up in the air, you're talking about less than a second to work with, down 2, maybe even, or down 3, maybe even 2 if she tried to miss the free throw on purpose.
But she called Wheeler, she called Evans slipping. I don't think she expected her to go into the backcourt. She thought she was trying to get the ball in half court and we're gonna play right here. But when she took off, she couldn't catch it. It was too late. And that was just really smart. Like,
So you got to salute E Wheeler for that. Just kind of that heads up play. That's why you have the vets in the locker room. That's why you have the vets on the team. If I'm not mistaken, I think Kelsey was hurt at the beginning of the year, like the first couple of games. So she just came back into the lineup like maybe a week or so into the season, maybe the end of the first week, if I'm not mistaken. Or she played all the games? Kelsey played all the games?
I've seen her. I don't know if you talk about preseason. I don't know. I've seen her play in all of the games. I haven't seen her miss any games.
Okay, well, in that case, and it's the same thing as like you said with the Luka and Kyrie dynamic of it took them a long time, and I feel like I guess they figured it out enough at this point, but even now you can still make the argument they still haven't quite figured it out. It's just kind of like Kyrie's been on when his number's called at the end of the game and stuff like that, and they need him and stuff. And that's what we've seen with Kelsey, like you said, the past couple of weeks. I remember the LA game, when Caitlin hit. I think that was her first win, right? LA. Caitlin hit a couple of big threes down the stretch. Kelsey was the one in the fourth quarter to even keep him in that game and keep him in it. And it was the same case today. Except Caitlin didn't necessarily hit those big bombs or whatever at the end of the game. It was kind of a more of a team effort and stuff like that. But
it definitely was. But I will say this now. I want to see more from Wheeler. I know she makes the hustle plays and the defensive plays, but I want to see her step up more on offense. The bigs did a great job today, Smith and Boston. I like the adjustment they've made with having Smith come off the bench before, in fact, Benlay got hurt because she had been playing well. So they seem to be finding their groove. I want to see more from Katie Lou Samuelson. You know what I mean? Her produce more Lexi Hull when she does play. So if they could get more out of, and Berger, if they can get more out of the role players, that'll be good. But again, Mitchell and Clark, everything has to go through them. We know what Boston can do. She did a great job of finding players. Like when they went through her high post, I'm trying to find my shooters. And then I know I can drive and get to the basket, get mine. But that 1-2 punch of Mitchell and Clark, that has to be the way they play.
Right, you were in school, I think, but before the Katie Lou and Fee years, right, at UConn. So you were more. What were you like?
I was there from 10 to 13.
You were after Maya, but kind of like around the time of Maya. So who was that? I guess the Brittany Griner years.
No, 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 no. Brittany was before me. Um, who was at UConn when I was there, 10 to 13? Because that was around the time where they were, winning everything, beating everybody. Man, you put me
It
on
was
the
Griner
spot.
and them. It was Griner and them. Griner and them at Baylor, and then and
Brittany,
then
okay,
Scholar Diggins at Notre Dame.
okay.
You it is not ringing a
No,
bell.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to remember that look,
I ain't
hear
gonna
me
lie.
now.
I can remember who was in college when I was in college.
Look here, oh, you trying to get me? Oh, yeah.
I,
Wait a minute.
I can remember that's all I was wondering because Lou, like you say, like you're calling for more from Lou. She hit a big three in the fourth quarter tonight, and like earlier this week, as they mentioned on the broadcast, she had a second half where she went like 4 for 6 from three, whatever. So I was just thinking about you, like if you were in school around the time of the Katie Lou's, and then I was like, no, she wasn't, and I was like, well, what? Who is in? So it was just kind of a random question.
Katie Lou was,
Katie Lou and them, they was like 16, 17, low key.
but she was one of the key players for UConn at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, no, no, 100%. And she was different at UConn, and that's something that Joel and a lot of the UConn subscribers always remind me of over here and stuff like that of just how pivotal she was in college and how great of a player she is. They don't fail to remind me of that stuff like that. But yeah, like you said with E. Willer, the hustle and the camaraderie and everything that she brings is like
Yeah,
it's great, but at the end of the day she was an all-star MVP. So it's like
yeah,
be an all-star MVP type caliber player, be an above average point guard,
yeah.
and give Indiana like another option. I don't think that's out of pocket to request. Nalissa, like I said, that's the one thing that I'm always looking at with Indiana because her family, and I don't know if I don't know what's going on with her mom. I saw someone said something about her mom, but like I know like with that family, they were wilding out her rookie year. I say this every video, her rookie year when it came to Ryan Howard, the attention she was getting for rookie of the year. Second year, they have a problem with Aaliyah Boston coming in wearing the number one. And but I think Aaliyah wears 7. But it's like a thing of they photoshopped Aaliyah to wear number one when she became the pick, and it was a thing of like who's getting the most attention, who's getting the ball, who's the face of the friend. Like so, when Caitlin came in, I said that's Aaliyah Boston times 10 of like just the attention and this is her team and everything. How is Alyssa gonna deal with that? First couple games, I'm not even gonna lie. I heard it in the press conference. You read between the lines. If I got in the game or and she says it in between the answers. You got to read between the lines with these things. I didn't know how it was gonna go. Then they benched her for the vet, like you say. Vet gets hurt. She gets back in the starting lineup. She had a good little start today. Second half, not as much action. She wasn't getting the ball as often. A couple of errant passes her way, whatever, to get her the ball. That's just I feel like a ticking thing that I'm just looking at. And I hope that it goes well this season, but that's just something I'm looking out for because usually with these things, if there's a pattern in the past, it's going to come back to blow up later. But that's just what I'm seeing so far. Go ahead, Britt.
Well, I think Fever's coach is just trying to find a rotation that works. And sometimes you could be great because Smith was great as a starter, like she was playing well. And if you're a player that you're still gonna get yours coming off the bench, you provide that spark, then cool. Because Kennedy Carter, she could start for the Sky. But she's gonna get hers regardless. She's gonna be in at the end of the game. She's gonna be a closer. So you have to figure out what works. And I think they're trying that. Again, I like the adjustment. And we'll see how it continues to work for them. They just got their second win. They played really well today. They came out clicking early. I mean, not turning the ball over, making perimeter shots. Um, Aggressive on defense. Like I said, they made it hard for Williams to score in the low post, getting out in transition scoring. So they look really good.
And Caitlin played well at the beginning of the game today. I felt like that's something that she's kind of struggled with since she came into the league of like getting her shot going early.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been a thing of like she gets it going in the second half, especially the fourth quarter. But today she got it going. It was kind of the opposite almost. She had to go on early in the game, and then at the end of the
Slow
game,
down.
second half, she was slowing down a little bit when it came to shooting. But she was still affecting the game in other ways. Still made great reads, great vision, all that good stuff. What is something else? Oh, Kennedy Carter. Like you already touched on her a couple times. Uh, man, just see, for me, I'm biased with Kennedy because, like I've said it a gazillion times, that's my favorite player. So it's like, but I don't know, man. This is looking like the fit. This is looking like the fit. She can play the two guard position, playoff ball with Dana running point. It just looks like a match made in heaven. With everything else, like with Angel getting so much attention on the road, with Camila getting so much coverage, just being Brazilian, coming from South Carolina, like having all that attention, she can kind of lay a little bit under the radar. It's
Mm-hmm.
not like Kennedy Carter spotlight on her. And like I said, playing off ball is great for her to be a true two, which I feel like she is. That's her natural strength. And I don't know, man. I feel like this is it. How you feel about Kennedy in Chicago?
No, I like her again. Her coming off the bench is just it's good. It works. And I'm looking at the way they play. They play really good team ball. Like watching them, they're of course Kennedy got hers. Dana Evans was in double figures. Mabry was, but it's like there is no just legitimate star. Like, who is the go-to player to get me a bucket? At the end, you can see it's Kennedy, but it's like she's still kind of trying to fill out her role and see. But I
Yeah.
think as the season progresses, she's probably gonna say, okay, if I'm gonna be in at the end of the game, then it's gonna be me, either her or Mabry. But Kennedy is the one because she can knock down the jump shot and she can get to the basket and she's gonna find the open player. She did it a few times with Cardoso. So I need to have the ball in her hands at the end of the game, and I think Witherspoon is going to see that, and she'll be their star because right now they have a lot of players who can score, do great things, but you always need that person at the end of the game. Who am I going to go to? And I think Carter's going to be that for them.
No, 100%. And speaking of Mabry, that was someone who I wanted to mention. She had a quiet night tonight, or a
Yeah.
quiet day today. The game was at 12. But she had a quiet game today, just like offensively. I think you said she was in double figures, but still, like
Mm-hmm.
watching the game, it wasn't the same impact that you see her usually have on the court and stuff like that. So I thought that was something interesting. I don't know if it was something that Indiana did defensively against her, or if it was just an off night. But that
What,
was something that I picked up. Go ahead.
what did you pick? Say that again.
I said, or if it was just an off night.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
But yeah, that was something else to pick up on. But they have so much size. Like on top of like that Kennedy dynamic, they you're talking about, okay, you got Ewell and Angel starting. And then off the bench, you have Cardoso, and then you have Lizzie Harrison. And then behind that, you have Bree Turner. Like you go three different of just bigs that most of the league doesn't have. I guess the only comparable team would be Dallas. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I don't know. I think that's going to help them a lot in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this might not be the year that they do. Oh, go ahead, Britt.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead. I just wanted to correct myself. I think I said Witherspoon is Witherspoon earlier. Teresa.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Correcting
yeah.
myself.
So, shout out to the legend, man. Shout out to the legend. Shout out to New York. Shout out New York basketball, all that good stuff. But yeah. Shout out Ty Young on the staff too this year. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
for
From
sure.
from from loving hip hop and loving basketball to the man. Look at how they grow up. It's crazy. Uh, but yeah. Where was I going with that? I don't even know. I don't even know where I was
I don't
going
know,
with it.
but one thing I will say, the hip check by Carter on
I was
Clark,
gonna ask you that. Okay.
that was unnecessary. I don't know what that was about. Um, I know players go back and forth during the game, but it was like she just came up, and I'm just like, you playing well, like why? And I'm surprised they didn't upgrade it because it really was just, what are you doing? Um, but go ahead. You want to add something to that?
It's the Kennedy experience. It's a part of what comes with it. Like she can be a hey Holly, because I know Holly. She hit, so she might be watching this right now. Holly, I love you, everything like that. Love you, gang. You could be a hothead sometimes. You could be a hothead sometimes. So she had the same type of thing with Sabrina Ionescu her rookie year in the Wobble, and it was the same type of deal where Sabrina was the one coming in the league and all the attention, the Kobe cosign and the white mamba, this and that. Like she was getting all that attention. And so like against Kennedy, Kennedy took that personally and she was going like hard on her, kind of like unnecessarily kind of hard, it seemed like
Mhm.
sometimes. But she balled out. And it's the same thing today with Caitlyn. Caitlyn getting all the attention she's getting and stuff like that.
Well,
But
I'm
you
just
can't do
saying.
that. You got to keep your emotions in check, like you say.
Yeah, for sure. Because they interviewed Caitlyn after that, and she said it wasn't a, a basketball play, and it also feeds into this narrative that the vets are trying to hurt the rookies, take them out, and when you do unnecessary stuff like that, because I feel like I'm gonna log on to Instagram, and that's gonna be one of the posts, and then that's gonna fuel some fans. Oh, see, look at there, they're trying to take out Caitlyn, they're trying to hurt her, and I mean, it's physical because it was physical in college. When you think about Angel Reese and Cardoso, it was a physical game. Caitlyn got away with a lot of push-offs and stuff like that. And then now in the league, the officials need to be more consistent. I will say that because, like I said, I don't see why that wasn't upgraded. But when you do stuff like that, it feeds into that narrative of, yeah, these vets do have it out for the rookies. They're trying to take them out. They're trying to, take out Caitlyn and do, what I'm saying? So stuff like that. You said it's the Carter experience, but man, just keep it clean. You know what I mean? Like talk your stuff, do what you're gonna do, but that was just extra.
Angel, she I don't know if you saw that too at the end of the game, like 2 minutes left when Angel kind of like boxed out Caitlyn and
Mhm.
Caitlyn knocked her down and stuff like that, her teammate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that one they said it was 50-50. I'm like, I don't even know if Angel knew who she was boxing out. She did do a little hip. It could have went either way. Where Caitlyn fell, she does sell it.
I was
That,
about to say, Caitlyn does it. That
she
was what I
does
was gonna
sell it.
say.
She does
Caitlyn
sell it.
sells it. Remember the game last year in Iowa where she running off the court? They beat her on the road. The kids stormed the court, and then the little girl like running on. She jogging. She not even
Oh
running,
yeah,
and
she
bumped
ran
her.
into.
And Caitlyn,
Yeah, yeah, that
she
was
can
like,
sell it. She'll
yeah,
sell it now.
yeah,
So
she
so
can
I
sell
say
it.
that too.
For sure. And I think she probably tried to sell that one more because they didn't, you know what I mean, really upgrade the last one. So that one was, but the Carter one, that was unnecessary. But that's why I was trying to see, did I miss something? Were they going back and forth before? Um, was it a play where, they were chirping and she was just like trying to prove like, all right, but nah.
I didn't even see Caitlyn say anything to her. And I
Nah, me
people
neither. That was
Caitlyn will talk now.
she will, she will.
She talk cash money for sure. But
For sure, but I'm just like,
right
Carter,
there she didn't say nothing. She didn't say
yeah,
nothing.
you've been hooping, like just hoop, just ball and keep doing what you're doing. Your team trying to get back in the game, like you know.
Like I said, Kennedy could be one of the faces of she could be close to where Enrique is
Mm.
if it's not for stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Of just overall kind of just keeping yourself in check, leadership, holding yourself accountable. And that is something to say, like, she could be close to where Enrique is when Enrique has like similar issues and kicking the scores table and stuff.
And
But
I think the coach
it
did
is what
check
it
her when
is.
she came to the sideline. Like
Yeah,
she
yeah, yeah.
thought, like, what you doing? Like that wasn't necessary.
I think Chicago's a good place for her. And I think,
Yeah.
she's gonna kind of grow into her potential and realize her potential and ultimately become the all-star she deserved to be in this league for a couple years and stuff.
Yeah, I will say the grit, like being in Chicago, same thing like Angel, which I know a lot of Mystics fans are mad that she wasn't drafted there, her being from the DMV, but she does fit Chicago, you know what I mean? So
And shout out to Leah Edwards, doing her thing, whatever, in Washington. It's so tough for them. Have they won yet? Are they still owing
no,
owing?
they lost yesterday, and I watched them, and it's kind of like the same thing with the Fever. They struggle to finish. They have the pieces. They have a good team. I like Van Loo. She's a rookie, from overseas. Um, but she's a nice point guard, got a nice game. She pulled a shot off of one leg, like stepped back off of one leg. She real smooth. Who was that? Hines Allen was big for them, a part of the run they made. Like you said, Aaliyah Edwards. So they have the pieces. They could have won the game yesterday. They just struggled to finish in closing. So when you see the teams at the bottom of the league, a lot of times they can compete with the teams at the top. They just don't know how to close and finish.
Well, who do you think is the and this is like way off topic or kind of like on topic, but like in the curveball. I didn't like ask you about this or anything. Um, who's the number two pick? So say Golden State gets number one. All right, we all assume that's Paige. Who's number two? Is it because Flage? I was watching her interview with Baller Alert, and everybody kind of assumes that Flage is gonna stay all 4 years and
Mm-hmm.
like become the number one pick after Paige.
Mm-hmm.
But that Baller Alert interview, it's looking like she kind of over school. Like she's
Mm.
open to leaving after next year. So yeah.
Now, that's one player who really improved from her freshman to her sophomore year. Like she became more of a leader, like what they needed. Cause if you watch LSU play, they missed a lot of leadership in a lot of the games. Like that's where Alexis Morris was missed. And I don't think a lot of people really give her enough credit for the run they made last year and winning the national championship. Like she was the heart and soul of the team. Um so Flage really tried to step up into that role. Reese is a leader too, but it's just kind of like they needed somebody to keep them composed throughout the games and stuff like that, where they would lose it because they were young and they had transfers in and they just didn't have it at times. But I like that idea because she is in the studio a lot, making music and then playing. It's a lot. So when you add in school, that's 3 jobs. So I wouldn't be surprised. So she'll probably graduate early and then go. But would she be number two? Okay, of course, Paige would be number one. I'm trying to think. You still have Sanaya Rivers and Azariah James
You,
from
the girl from
they're
shout
from
out NC State.
NC State. NC
But
State.
shout out the big from Kansas State, the Ioka Lee.
Okay. Okay.
Cause she was supposed to go a couple years ago, but injuries, and then she came back this year, and I think injuries again. So I don't know what her stock is gonna look like
Mhm.
now, but she was supposed to go top four a couple years ago. So Ayoka Lee is someone I'm looking at too. Like, where
Yeah.
is she gonna go? I'm trying to think of who else. Like you shouted out NC State.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cause
yeah.
James, her
Continue,
her her
continue.
stock, like she had at least 20 in every game in the tournament, so her stock went up. But she still, I think she could stay 2 more years. Everybody gets that COVID year, but if both her and Rivers wanted to come out this year, like they have a great year together, and because they're gonna be contenders again, so if they have a great year, they'll be top 10 picks. Trying to the because their freshman class is so good. Everybody in
It's, it's like who were
yeah.
sophomores like who were juniors last year? I don't Paige. And
Yeah.
Paige not even a junior. She was a senior last year. I'm tripping.
Well, she got injuries
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
the
COVID year,
injuries. Yeah,
so just
yeah.
it makes sense for her to come back.
Right,
I
right. Yeah.
think this year is really going to be her year. Like she looked good this past season, but another year is going to be good for her. Lauren Bess is young. This is her sophomore year,
Third,
junior. So
this is
UCLA, the post player.
because yeah. She played Stanford freshman year. UCLA, what was that? Last year, that was her
Last year.
first year at UCLA.
So
So
she
yeah,
graduates early,
yeah. So this Lauren Betts third year too.
but she
Oh,
needs.
Kiki Rice is that draft class too? That high school class too?
Yeah, so Kiki was a sophomore this year, so she'll be a junior.
Yeah.
Um, so again, you have to graduate before you are eligible for the draft for the women.
Okay.
Um, it's either you have to graduate or you have to be 21. Which one? I think they have to graduate. Uh, but don't it's one or the other. Either 21 or graduate. Um, because I felt like Caitlin actually could have come out the year before, like year before last year if she wanted to, but I don't think she had graduated. I don't think she was eligible.
Yeah. I don't know. I was thinking it was maybe
Age.
uh all right. So someone broke it down to me because I did a thing on Diamond Miller a couple years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, she can't come out because I think she was like 20 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
and they were like she would have to be 21, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not even gonna lie
Maybe
to y'all.
because you
We got
remember,
Google right here. Y'all got Google viewers. If y'all want to pull up another tab and
yeah, because you remember Jewel Lloyd came out early. She left Notre Dame early.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm trying to see.
Diamond the Shields. Remember, she left
Oh,
college
okay.
altogether and went overseas for like a year or two, and then went to the draft.
Yeah, so I'm trying to see what that rule is. I want to say either they have to graduate or, like you said, it's age. Which it makes sense for the women to go ahead and graduate, get your degree.
I mean, I don't know, man. It's changing now with the expansion, more roster spots, opportunity, everything like that. Um, and
But
then
it's
more money.
that's true too. But that this next collective bargaining agreement, they really need to up their negotiations. Because the salary cap is the issue when you talk about more roster spots. Because they polled the players. Did they want to add more teams or more roster spots to every team instead of doing 12, do 15? Because they do 15 in the NBA, but they couldn't add them because it wasn't under the CBA. So you can't do that. So that's why they're trying to expand so they can have more availability for players who are getting cut because we got top players getting cut. DA's fair. Um,
Oh, I have to point this out. And this is like the 40th minute of this video.
okay.
So a lot of people might not see this, and I might say it on another video or whatever. But the Atlanta Dream, they have a situation coming up where Jordan Canada, when she comes back from injury, they're gonna have to cut Lorella Kubaj or Leticia Amihir. Amihir hasn't played at all for real these past 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying this to tell people to let them have it on their radar that LA might. I don't want to, but just keep that on y'all radar. All right, continue, Brady.
LA might what?
It's either gonna be her or Kubaj that's gonna get cut when Jordan Canada comes back from
Okay,
injury.
so they have 12 players on their roster already.
Yeah,
The Dream, because some teams keep 11 because if you have multiple players on a max deal or a super max deal, you can't afford to pay 12 because you're paying fewer players more money. So if they have 12, then yeah, they're gonna have to cut somebody.
yeah. I'll check the roster right now, but I'm pretty sure that they have 12 already, and or 13.
Okay.
See, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, they only have 12. Oh, they should be good then. Never mind. I apologize. They only have 12.
Well,
I
if they
thought
have,
they had
he
13 for
said
some
somebody has
reason.
to go. Oh, including Jordan Canada.
Yeah, yeah, including Jordan
Yeah,
Canada.
well, then it
Including
should be
Jordan Canada.
good.
Yeah, they're good. Never mind. False call, false alarm, guys. And I'm saying this because I was thinking when they signed Dangerfield in the preseason, I was like, it's either going to be her or Henny that makes the team. And it's probably going to be Dangerfield that makes the team since they traded for her. And that's what ended up happening. But yeah. Okay.
Okay, so
So
I think they have to be WNBA draft requirements. The league requires domestic draft interest to be at least 22 years old. Is that right?
yeah,
In the year in which the draft takes place?
yeah.
And to remain. I thought it was 21. I thought,
No, it's 22.
well,
It's
maybe
22. I
Jewel
remember
Lloyd's
now.
birthday came early where she had turned 22 and was able to enter the draft in her junior year though?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I don't know about that. Now
Yeah,
that's different.
yeah. How did Jewel Lloyd enter in WNBA draft? Shout out to Jewel Lloyd, man, the gold mopper.
No, I don't.
But let me see.
I was trying to while you were looking up what you were looking
Yeah,
at, I was trying to.
yeah. That okay, here it is. It's a whole thing. Hold on, let me pull this up on the screen. I don't know why I'm scrolling on my phone. Let me pull this up on the screen. All right, cool. Because I see the story. It pulled up immediately for me. Hold on. Joel Lloyd, WNBA draft. Okay, here we go. I'm pulling it up. Pulling it up. Here we go. Yes, the WNBA has strict rules. Uh, she's eligible because she'll turn 22 during the calendar year of the draft. That's what happened.
Okay, so yeah, she was 21, but so when she entered the league, she was gonna turn 22 that year. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what happened right there. Thank you, WNBA, for having that available for us. All right, Britt. So good talk, good show, everything like that. I'm sure the people gonna love you and they're gonna want to see like more content from you and stuff like that. So let them know how they can do so.
Well, y'all can check me out on Instagram, Be Young and Company. That's BYOUNG, the letter N, Company. Also, the same thing, beyoungandcompany.com. I do a lot of writing. That's my blog on the topics we discussed today. I've talked about the state of the WNBA. I've talked about the impacts of NIL. So I'm constantly talking about different things. So you can check out my features if you like to read and you want to be educated on more surrounding the league and just sports in general.
Quality stuff from a former player, everything like that. Y'all make sure I'll support everything. I ain't gonna lie, Brett. I already know how the conversation gonna look. These folks is gonna beg for you to be back soon. So hopefully schedules align and you guys enjoy this and y'all can check out her stuff and everything like that. As always, I'm Rashad Milligan. This is the World of Podcast Subs if you're new to the channel. Until next time, take care of yourselves.